Welcome back. Bronze Dragon here with another episode on Soulstone Survivors. I originally did an episode about a week ago that I jumped in, did a first take on it. And since then, I've played more than 15 hours in 1 week. So I guess you could say I've really liked it. And there was a commenter on the video who mentioned that I had only scratched the surface. And he was right. He or she was right. So I felt like I would come back in here and do a second episode and give some, some tips for new players as well as some thoughts on the game. So if you like this kind of coverage, please like the video and please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and jump in to Soulstone Survivors. Like I said, I've been playing for just over a week, and I've got 15 hours into the game. I have been solely playing the Barbarian. Not that I haven't opened up some other characters, which I have. We can go to characters, and I can see that I've opened up the Pyromancer, the Houndmaster, the Spellblade, the Arcane Weaver, the Sentinel, the Assassin at this point. So I've got plenty else I could play. However, what I wanted to do was get a really good feel of how the game progressed. And I might not be doing it completely right, but I just wanted to bring some things up. The first thing that was not immediately clear to me is whenever you go in and start playing, you see these weapons. Now, what happens is the blacksmith, you can go ahead and you can build new weapons and upgrade your weapons for your character. However, when you do, you have to have a certain amount of materials to make that happen. And these materials only drop in certain levels on certain boards. So this is one of the things I wanted to make you aware of, that when you first start playing the game, you have to be aware of where these mineral caches are throughout the game, and not just go around and kill mobs to accrue numbers and kill the bosses, but make your way around the board and try to pick up as many materials as possible, so that whenever you're ready to upgrade your weapon, you'll have the materials to do so. Some of the materials are rarer than others, just like in most other games. Now, and the reason behind upgrading your weapons is obviously to do more damage and give yourself more buffs. So when you start off with the Barbarian, you get the Barbaric Cleavers, which give you -5 to armor power, but +5 to area modifier. When you move up to the Skullbreakers, you get +10% to critical damage, +5% to armor power, +10% to cast frequency, and -10% to movement speed. So there's always going to be pluses and minuses, and that's what this whole game is about. As you move forward through the different levels, you have to make picks depending upon what you want to buff and what you think will work best with your character. I had mentioned that I had gotten this character to the point where I thought I had a pretty good take on how this game would progress, and I got this almost fully maxed out tree. So all of these powers are maxed out except for this one right here, and I just need some more gems, soul stones, to max that out. But all the powers are actually maxed out, and a portion of them actually require just the minor soul stones, which are pretty easy to pick up in game, whereas the harder parts, which are on the bottom part or the back part of the trees, require the different colored soul stones. So that's the other thing you're really shooting for, because when you do standard boards, you don't get a whole lot of these gems. But I'll mention and I'll point out how you can get a bunch more. So I wanted to go ahead and fill this out and see how the character performed with those in place. So the other thing I'll mention is that I do have runes, and I haven't completely opened up a whole lot of these, but this is another way where you can buff your character. You unlock runes, and even at this point, you can see I don't have too many runes unlocked. I got this one, this one, this one, and Focus Fire. I don't even have Focus Fire in play here, because Focus Fire gives you plus 30% to damage, basically one target damage, whereas it gives you minus 15% for area damage, which in this game or a lot of these type of games, I find like I want more AoE than focus, so I do not have that enabled. So let's go ahead and jump into a fight. We can see also here that I've gotten to the point where I've maxed all. What happens in this game is you play a board or you play like this is the Scorching Valley, and none of the curses are in play. So you can see that I'm working on level 3 now. So I went through level 1 and then level 2. Actually, it looks like I have one more to do in level 1, but either way, you work your way through, and each of these curses makes the board harder when you enable them, but it gives you more bonuses that you get out of the board. So the basically flow of the game is you go through and you beat the board without any curses on, and then you start stacking the curses up and you work your way through until you have beat the board with all the curses enabled. And then that's what I did for all these, and you can see that I have them all done for 1 and 2, and then I'm working on 3. So they show you exactly what you can get out of the board. And if you're lucky, you can get some. These are just the standard things you can get. If you're lucky, you can get some rare items out of there. Now, while we are on this screen, I will show you another board or another battle type, which is called. Well, let's just stick to this. So the flow on these boards are that you have a certain number of bosses you have to spawn. I believe it's 4 or 5, and you have to kill a number. The number goes up, but a certain number of mobs to spawn the boss. So like the first boss might take 400 kills to spawn. Then you kill it, and then it drops a major soul stone, and you can collect all the minor soul stones when you grab that, and you get a couple powers. And then you work your way until you've killed all the bosses for that level, and then you've completed it, right? Well, the Unholy Cathedral is a board that is, I don't want to say, it's much longer than your standard board, and it is much smaller. So you have a small, very, very enclosed area. It's like a churchyard or something like that. And you have a number of bosses. One will spawn, plus you have all these other mobs around, and you've got to beat that boss, and then you have to beat like 4 bosses right in a row, and then you stop, and you pick out your powers again. So it's completely different, a completely different set of powers, and they're all random. So you have to go, and a lot of times what I found is they don't give you powers that really stack well together. So they make it hard for you. They don't make it easy for you. So for instance, I'll mention this when we go through a battle, but they don't go through and they don't give you a bunch of earth powers that you can stack up and increase their power exponentially, right? So this goes through, and then it goes through a number. You finish one round of 4 boss mobs, and then they give you time to breathe a little bit. Then you start the board again, and by stepping on the stone with the little portal, and then it sends the next one out. Now, after 4 waves of that, 4 or 5 waves, then the boss spawns. Okay. Now, I have not beat this boss yet, but the boss spawns, and it's crazy. It's a crazy battle. And after you get him down to about half life, then it changes boards, and you're on like a floating disc or something like this. And like I said, I haven't beat this, but I wanted to bring this up because this is the mode where you can earn a lot of major soul stones. If you're trying to upgrade your weapon, or if you're trying to upgrade your powers and you need some major soul stones, you need to jump in here in the Unholy Cathedral and try that out. Maybe on another episode we'll do that, but let's go ahead and go back. Okay, we're going to jump into level 3 of the Scorching Valley without any curses involved. When I first do a board, I like to do it without any curses, just to test it out and see how hard it is. But as you can see, as you go up, the curses that are available get harder and harder and harder. So let's go ahead and jump in.
This heat boils the
Okay,
blood.
he's kind of slow starting off. I'd like to pick up some more speed. By about halfway through the match, I want to start picking up some speed so I can, run around him a little bit faster. At the very start, I tried to wrap them up. I love these axes. Third level of his weapon. Took me a while to get the materials to build these, but they come innately with some thundering and lightning power. So the area effect, will go ahead and increase the area effect on the Thundering Slash. I do want to try and pick up an AoE power at some point. They are spawning some AoE lightning. Ooh, I love the Chaos Golem. These golems, they're not lightning. But they will take attackers off you and do damage to attackers, and basically the attackers all mob up around them, and then you can run around them and attack. But one of the things I will mention is that when you pick out these powers, don't just pick them out willy-nilly. You will at first, but what you really want to take advantage of and look at are the powers that they have. Like this Chaos Golem, I like it just because it keeps stuff off me, but it has Disarray and Taunt, whereas Shockwave Totem has Dazed, and Poison Bolt obviously has Poison. But when you start picking powers out that you're going to be using, what you want to do is you want to pick out powers that complement each other. So let's go ahead and pick that, but I'm hoping that I get some selection of lightning powers coming up. And I see that a little mineral spawned. I can see on the mini-map over here, so I'm working my way over here. So there, I got that. Now I'm just going to try to round some, see how the golem took a bunch of those monsters off me. So yes, this is exactly what I want. Now, logic would probably say go with more power, but I want to get a little bit more speed going on, a little plus 20% movement speed.
This new power fuels my rage.
Still not very fast. I'm going to go ahead and increase the power of the golem, make them a little bit stronger. Here's another mineral that spawned over here. It's easier. They're easier to hit whenever you have an AoE going on. It's early in the game. I don't have a AoE just yet. Okay, so let's go with Chain Lightning, like I said. Distracted and Electrified. Now the main power I'm working on here is Electrified. See, that complements my Thundering Slash.
Strength at the right time.
And I can see the green healing crystal has spawned, but I don't need it yet. Whenever you need some health, just look for those big green crystals. They spawn once in a while in the game. Just get around it and smash it and you get a little bit of health. So let's increase the frequency of the Chain Lightning. I see another mineral has spawned over to the right, so I'm going to make my way over here. I found that lightning is pretty strong, especially with these axes, because they innately have a lightning power built in. I am going to go with more frequency of golems
I can feel the
spawning
power in my very bones.
So you can get multiple golems out at one time. Okay, so let's go with Thunderclap, which is also an electrified power, but it has Prowess and Brutal on it too, which I won't take much advantage of, but it does work well with electrified. Now, as you can see, my golems grouped up the mobs over here, and let's go with a little bit of extra damage. Okay, here's the first boss mob, and we can use our rush and try to stay in back of it. We'll go with the skill chain buff. Yeah, you do not want to get in front of these boss mobs, and then we'll go ahead and collect that major Soulstone. And what do we want here? Let's go with Frag Shot. I will probably end up replacing that. And I'm going to replace Frag Shot, so I'm not going to use that. Let's just get a little bit of Magnetic. That helps me pick up more minor Soulstones. Multicast helps me cast more. Oh, nothing lightning. Let's see here. What do I need? Let's go with Resonant Slam. I'll probably end up replacing that. One thing I like is as you progress through the matches, you can replace things that you don't really want. Let's go ahead and get a little bit extra damage.
Just what I needed.
And work my way over here. I see some minerals spawn. Oh, there's one up here. And you can see that I just barely got close. Oh, this is a rarer mineral. There you go. When you got an AoE going, you just have to really get close to the minerals and it'll pop them. Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and increase damage on Chain Lightning because this is a lightning build. Plus that mineral. And I just kind of work my way around the board. I try not to stand in... it's not too bad staying in one place on the map for too long until you need health, because you need to kind of progress around the board to find the health crystals. I don't need any of these, so I'm going to tab out of that. And, of course, more movement speed is good.
Power surges through my veins.
It's always good. You can pick up extra movement speed, and then if you get, maybe you feel that you're fast enough, you can pick up the power that gives you extra damage but less movement speed. So let's go with... I tend to lean towards lethality, more percent chance to actually get a crit versus the critical damage up, because your critical damage going up doesn't matter if you can't hit a crit, right? Let's go ahead with multicast and epic. Okay, I see a... Okay, there's a brain farm. Let's work our way down here. Okay, second boss mob.
Come to me, hideous beast.
Lord of the... Now she, once again, you want to stay in her... I think most of these boss mobs, you just want to stay in back of them if possible. This is interesting. I haven't got a chance to test the ballista out yet. I don't need any of these. Let's go with block or armor. Let's go with block power. I usually try to stick close to them. Oh, you want to get outside the red. As with every game, don't stand in the red. But I try to stay behind them.
Strength at the right time.
And it usually lets you knock them down pretty fast. So, crushing strikes for each type of slam. I was wondering if I have a slam power. I don't even have a slam power. So that buffed slam power. I don't have a slam power. Let's just go with more agility. Don't need any of these. Let's go with relentless. Polarity shift. For each skill you have of type electric, improve your skills. Okay, so this is good. So I have a bunch of skills, 1, 2, 3 with electric, and then this buffs the rest of them by that amount. So, and once again, why not? Crushing strikes. Once again, I wish I had a slam, but I don't have a slam. Yeah, just double checking. Let's go with expansive. It gives me bigger AoE.
Soulstone brings me closer to your king.
Area of attack, AoA. Probably going to end up replacing that. Let's go ahead and buff that for right now. I would only replace it if I saw another electrical power. Okay, here's another mineral spawned right here. And another one. I just go through and I try to pick up as many. It took me like, I don't know, half a dozen battles to realize that I was forgetting to pick up. I love Bloody Saw if I was going with the Bleed. Bleed goes with one of the powers that I really like too, but it has not popped up. I'll mention that if I see that. More block, please.
This new power fuels my rage.
And always keep your thumb on the space bar, because then you can rush like that to get out of an area you don't want to be in and take damage. And sometimes mobs will, you know, especially some of the bigger, stronger mobs, they'll just kind of block you in. Okay, let's go increase damage modifier on Chain Lightning, please.
I can feel the power.
Since my whole build is basically built on that. Okay, more minerals. Sometimes you can't even see the minerals. And one of the things with this game that I have a hard time doing is keeping track of where my cursor is, getting lost and all this stuff. And I even turned off, there's some numbers that show the damage you're doing. I kept the health bars on the mobs, but I turned the numbers off because it was just way too much. Okay, so let's go with fortifying damage. Every time you apply prowess, you have a chance to gain resilience. I've got several, few of those going on this build. So, okay, here's another boss spawn because I killed enough. Okay. You definitely want to stay behind this guy. He's got like an energy ray that goes out in front of him. There it is. Oh, that was kind of cheese. I just stood there. Can't always do that, though. It was just the location. Nothing here. Okay, let's go with more attack speed on Thunderclap, more powerful strikes, a little bit more resiliency. Of course, they couldn't throw me another lightning power. Let's get a little bit more health here. Like you can see, it's just a matter of trying to choose powers that complement each other, and then the other stuff you pick is like extra hit points, which always helps, extra speed, which always helps, that kind of thing. Extra armor always helps, you know, that kind of thing. But the other major powers, you want to have them complement each other. Here's two elements there, side by side. Those are common ones, but hey, why not pick them up since we're here? And you also have to keep an eye on your health. Okay, let's get a little bit more. Oh, attack speed with frag. See, I don't think I have any disarray. Oh yeah, I have one. The Chaos Golem. Now let's just go with attack speed.
No choice is without a cost.
I would like one of the buffing skills for the Golem though. And I could top myself off with this health crystal. There it goes. Okay, I can see a big... now these will spawn, and if you see these yellow circles spawn, there's like a chest, or there's one other type. You need to stay within the circle for a certain amount of time while it unlocks. And if you do, it spawns a bunch of major soul stones. Minor soul stones. Sorry. Yeah, I got caught in that mob of mobs. I'm at half health. I need... Okay, you can see there why it spawned. Let's go with Indomitable.
Just what I needed.
Try to pick them up and get out of here without getting killed. I don't need any of those. Let's do the skill chain. It works with electric and swing. Okay. Thank you, Golem, for taking some mobs off of me. Let's go ahead and damage increase. I need... there's a... Oh, that's a rare element. Okay. So I need a health crystal is what I need. There we go. Well, it wasn't a health crystal, it was just minerals.
No demon can match my fury.
And this is the fourth of 5. Okay, this is a poison guy. So I need to definitely stay. What'll happen is, it's not necessarily the boss mobs that get you, it's these other big guys that are surrounding you that are also targeting you. So I guess in the big picture it'd be nice to be able to kill them first, but you never really have a choice. You obviously have to stay out of all the red, right? So, which is basic gaming advice. Okay, let's improve my resonant slam.
More power, more carnage.
Trying to not die here. He is back there with all that red, and I don't want to go. You can see why having an all AoE build is kind of hurts you in sometimes. Oh, I see. The my golems are keeping him back there. Oh, health crystal must have popped right there. Haven't tried flamethrower yet. Have not tried a flame build yet. I've tried earth and lightning. Both are very strong, that I think. Let's increase the frequency. Yeah, let's go with the golem buff.
Gifts. I'll take them all.
Looks like my golem's doing pretty good at killing him. It's taking a while. I just don't want to get back here in the red. I don't have much. Oh, much health to mess around with. I guess doesn't take long to give up that much. I'm gonna go with block.
Power surges
Wow,
in
that's a
my
lot of red.
veins.
Stay out of there. I made a dash through there just to try to get a little bit of damage on him. He's almost dead. Oh, he finally came out. Okay.
Doom follows you like a
Pick that
fly.
up. Let's go with the damage increase. I like the thrown axe, but not in this build. Let's go with the damage increase on chain lightning. Maybe a little bit more magnetic. Okay, so now we're working on the last boss mob, and you can see up here that I need to get 600 kills to spawn it. When you first start, it's like 400 or 450, and then they slowly take more and more and more as you go along. Okay, I can see there's a mineral back here. And also, as you go along, the mobs that are spawning get tougher and tougher. Oh, there's a health crystal up there. I almost said health potion. I must have popped it already. So I've really liked the golems. I've really liked the lightning build, and like I said, the earth build. Have not tried. I have tried somewhat of a projectile build, which is like there's one power, and I forget what it's called, but it's got arrows going out from all sides that I really like. That works well with like the axe throw. Okay, so increases damage modifier the chain lightning. Of course, I want more damage from my chain lightning. I will take that. Sneak over here and see if we can get to this. Oh, another common. Okay, let's see here. And at 230, I need to get out of these. Okay, and we've got another health popped up over here. I'll take that, thank you very much. Okay. Go down here and try to scoop up some of these minor stones. Yeah, I like to step up with these axes versus the hammers that were the second step. The hammers have a different set of powers and they slow you down. I really did not like being slowed down. I think one of the main buffs you want in this game, as far as what I've found, is to be able to be fast enough to outrun all this stuff. Okay, we're at just above halfway. And my golems are doing their job. Look at all that concentrated red. I do not even want to step into that. Just trying to work my way around the edge and do a little bit of damage. They for sure do their job really well. Okay, I see some one of them must have died because they're breaking off. Okay. Let's pick up some health, even though it's a common.
I can feel the power in my very bones.
Trying to circle around here and get back. A lot of times I'll just do a big loop around the map, and as you come back around, then you end up just picking up a lot of these minor soul stones, so you can level up. And each level, each power progressively takes more and more of these soul stones to level up. So. $425. Okay, let me through here. Let me through here. Okay. I'll take those. Yeah, a little bit more armor.
Just what I needed.
A little bit more armor always helps. Scoop these up. Yeah, all this stuff I'm mentioning is just general tips. There's no organization of them. This is I just wanted to talk about things that I've learned after playing the game for a week. So maybe if you decide to go ahead and buy the game and jump in, then you've got a step ahead of where I was. But I think for the price I paid, I've really got my money's worth and then some, because I think the original statement the person had made on my first video was, you've just scratched the surface, and I just see that so much. It's like I've got, at this point, more than 15 hours in, and I'm still playing the first character type, and I'm not even halfway through their progression. So
More power.
after
More
this,
carnage.
then I probably will keep playing this character, but next video I will try out a different character class. I'm usually the type that tries out a lot of stuff. You know, I'll play one for a little bit and then play another one just to test it all out. But in this case, I wanted to kind of get pretty, I don't want to say pretty deep, but at least deep enough into the game where I could see how the progression was going, so we could talk about it a little bit. Okay, there's a health crystal. I do need a health crystal. And my golems are doing their job over there, or they were. Try to scoop these crystals up. Don't forget about dashing. Once in a while I forget about it, but okay, I do not need those. Let's go ahead and pick up a little bit more health.
Now we press on.
Try to stay out of big mobs. One of my, you know, whenever you play Diablo, one of the things is, you know, like a whirlwind barbarian. Well, in this case, they have some kind of powers that approximate that, but you just don't want to get in the middle of a big mob, because a lot of times in this game, you will just get stuck and you'll start taking, and even if you're stuck for a split second, you'll start taking a good deal of damage. So you want to, in a lot of cases, what I found, you just want to continue to keep moving. In some cases, I found, like when I'm fighting a boss mob, sometimes in certain situations you can just get behind them and stand there, but in a lot of cases you'll just have to keep moving.
Time to tear you apart.
Okay, and so we have the last boss mob for this. If I can get in on him, let's see. Wow, this is a lot. Okay, sometimes when you can't see him, you've got to look up the mini-map, and he's indicated by a yellow kind of icon. Trying to wear down this group a little bit. The boss is not taking too much damage. Maybe they'll come after me after the golems die, which could be a good thing or could be a bad thing. Let's go ahead and do crushing strikes.
Power surges through my veins.
I think I found one power that had a little bit of slam to it. Sometimes you're not presented with a whole lot of, very many great choices, so you just have to just pick whatever sounds the best, I guess. Okay, I need to get in on that boss because he is not taking very much damage. Stay out of all of this bread. Okay, there he is, the ice guy. Okay, I like Bloody Saw, but not with this build. Let's do damage increase.
This new power fuels
Try
my
to stay
rage.
behind him a little bit, which is hard because there's a lot of AoE damage going on here. Okay, where did he go? Where did he go? There he is. He's about halfway. Get through these tornado things. Okay, skill chain.
I feel stronger than ever.
I haven't got all these powers memorized, that's why I always have to look at them and see which power complements which to try to make the best choice. Some are no-brainers because you get to the point where you find some that you know you like, so you just choose them. Okay, so this works with electric and projectile. So here's my projectile and electric, okay.
The gods
I never did
smile
end
on
up
me.
replacing that frag shot, but frag shot is the single target projectile. There's another one that I really like that's AoE. Forget the name. Okay, so I beat the final one. Let's cancel this. I don't know why once you beat the board they make you just go through here and choose these, because the board's is over anyway.
To the dawn. I must push forward.
So now we just come back to the portal and go back. And then the screen presents you with, you know, the breakdown of what you just did. As you can see, this character is level 101. But for these standard screens, like I pointed out, you only get one of each of the major soul stones. But this one, I also picked up some minerals as well. Okay, let's go on back to the main menu. Okay, this has been Bronze Dragon with another episode of Soulstone Survivors, and just some takeaways of what I've got from the game so far. I'm loving the game. It's very deep, as you can see, you know, probably at this point almost 17 hours in, and I'm still working on the first character. I haven't even unlocked half of the characters here, so well, maybe half of them, but you can see I still have a decent amount of them to go. It does work on achievement system like most other games these days, and it's nice to keep progress. Hey, you've done this, you've done this, you've done this, you know. And then after you do complete, you can come back in here and, you know, increase your skills. I still need to get some more of these rogue soul stones, which means I will have to go over and, like I said before, fight in the unholy cathedral. I did one run earlier today. I'll have to do another run. But well, this has been Bronze Dragon. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and if you're playing Soulstone Survivors, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Otherwise, see you in game.